Have you ever stopped to wonder why certain health problems seem to show up more often after 70, almost like they sneak up on you when you least expect them? You eat carefully, you take your walks, you try to stay positive, but still, there are little things that suddenly become big things. The truth is, sometimes it isn't about the big things at all. It's about the little habits, the small details we overlook every single day. And here's something most people never think about: your body has certain areas that, if not cleaned daily, can quietly work against you. They don't just cause discomfort, they can trigger infections, invite illness, and even take away the independence you've worked so hard to keep. Think about it. Have you ever ignored a small irritation, maybe a rash or a sore, and told yourself it was nothing? Then days later, it became worse, painful, and suddenly you realized it wasn't so small after all. That's exactly how neglecting certain body parts can creep up on you. For seniors, every little daily habit counts. And hygiene, something so simple, so basic, can be the difference between staying healthy and active, or battling problems that could have been prevented. It's not about being overly strict or worrying about every tiny detail, it's about paying attention to the parts of your body that carry more risk after 70. That's why in today's video, I'm going to walk you through the 4 body parts that you must clean every single day. For areas that hold more importance than most people realize. You might already guess 1 or 2, but I promise, number 3 will surprise you. And once you hear it, you'll understand why skipping it can lead to more harm than you think. Now, before we dive in, I want to hear from you. Tell me in the comments below, which daily hygiene habit do you think is the most overlooked when it comes to seniors? Is it something simple, like brushing teeth, or maybe something you've never really thought about? And while you're here, don't forget to subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Tips, where we share practical, heart-centered advice to help you age gracefully and live your later years with strength, dignity, and confidence. Let's start with the very first place that so many people overlook: the mouth and the teeth. Imagine this with me for a moment: an elderly gentleman who always brushed his teeth once a day, never really paid much attention to flossing, and thought that was good enough. For years, he got by without any big problems. But slowly, he began to notice something strange. Meals that once brought him joy started to feel like a chore. He wasn't eating as much, and the weight started to come off, not because he wanted it to, but because chewing had become painful. His gums were sore, his teeth loose, and suddenly, something as simple as enjoying a sandwich or an apple felt impossible. That story is more common than you might think. And here's why. After the age of 70, your body changes in ways you might not even realize. Saliva production slows down. And saliva is not just there to keep your mouth wet, it actually protects your teeth and gums from harmful bacteria. With less saliva, the mouth becomes a dry place where bacteria can grow quickly, leading to gum disease, infections, and decay. And it doesn't stop there. Studies have shown that poor oral hygiene isn't just about losing teeth, it's linked to more serious issues, like heart disease, lung infections, and even memory decline. So something as small as skipping a proper cleaning can ripple out into bigger health challenges. Now, here's the problem: too many people believe that losing teeth is just part of growing old. They shrug it off and say, well, that's just aging. But that's not true. Most of the dental problems seniors face are preventable with simple, consistent care. You don't have to accept loose teeth, sore gums, or difficulty eating as your fate. So, what can you do about it? The solution is actually simple, but it requires daily attention. Brush your teeth gently, twice a day, with a soft bristled toothbrush. Don't rush, take your time. Floss carefully to clean the spaces your toothbrush can't reach. Use an alcohol-free mouthwash to protect your gums without causing dryness. And if you wear dentures, make it a habit to remove and clean them thoroughly every single night, because bacteria and fungus can build up quickly on them too. And of course, regular dental checkups are not just for the young, seniors need them even more. Taking care of your mouth and teeth isn't just about keeping your smile, it's about keeping your whole body healthy. Because when you can eat well, chew comfortably, and prevent infections, you're not just protecting your teeth, you're protecting your overall health and your independence. But your mouth isn't the only overlooked spot. There's another part of the body that often causes silent problems. One that you depend on every single day, but rarely think about cleaning properly. Let's talk about your feet. Think of an elderly man who made walking part of his daily routine. He believed those walks were keeping him strong, keeping him alive, and in many ways, they were. But here's what he never did: he never checked his feet afterward. One day, a small blister formed from his shoe rubbing a little too tightly. It didn't look serious at first, so he ignored it. Days passed, the blister grew worse, and because circulation in his legs wasn't as strong as it once was, that tiny blister turned into a severe infection. Something so small, so easily preventable, ended up confining him to the hospital. This is the reality for so many seniors. As we age, circulation slows down, and the nerves in the feet become less sensitive. That means cuts, sores, or infections can go unnoticed for days, or even weeks. And if you live with diabetes, the risk is even higher. A sore that would normally heal in a younger person can linger, spreading infection deep into the skin. Fungal growth between the toes or on the nails can thrive in silence, and because healing is slower, these small issues can snowball into serious complications. Now here's where a lot of people go wrong. They assume that as long as their feet don't smell, everything must be fine. But odor isn't the measure of health. You can have hidden fungal infections or slow-healing wounds that give off no smell at all, yet they're quietly making things worse. It's not about how your feet smell, it's about how carefully you're looking after them. So, what's the solution? The answer is consistency. Wash your feet every single day, not just when you bathe, but intentionally, with warm water and mild soap. And don't stop there. Dry them thoroughly, especially between the toes, because that little space can trap moisture and become the perfect breeding ground for fungus. Take a moment to really inspect them. Look for any cuts, blisters, swelling, or changes in skin color. Even something that seems tiny could be a warning sign. Moisturize your feet to keep the skin soft and prevent cracking, but avoid putting lotion between the toes. Too much moisture there only increases the risk of infection. Wear clean, breathable socks, and make sure your shoes fit properly. And if you ever notice something that doesn't look right, don't brush it off, address it early, because early action is always easier than late treatment. Your feet carry the weight of your life, literally. Taking care of them means protecting your balance, your mobility, and your independence. Because when your feet are healthy, you stay on your feet longer, walking, moving, and living life the way you want. The feet are easy to forget, but the next area might surprise you even more. It's something most people never even think of cleaning carefully, yet neglecting it can lead to discomfort, infections, and even embarrassment. Let's talk about skin folds. Picture a grandmother who always looked neat and well put together. Her clothes were always fresh, her hair always tidy, and she seemed to take pride in her appearance. But there was one thing she overlooked. She didn't pay much attention to the skin under her arms, beneath her breasts, or around her belly. Over time, sweat and moisture began to build up in those areas. At first, it was just a bit of redness, nothing too alarming. But then, that redness grew into a rash, and soon the rash became a painful infection. The simple act of moving her arms or bending down became uncomfortable. Something she thought was too small to matter ended up limiting her daily life. This is something many seniors face without realizing it. As you get older, your skin naturally changes. It becomes thinner, loses some of its elasticity, and doesn't heal as quickly as it once did. When moisture and warmth get trapped in areas like under the breasts, under the belly, or even the folds of the neck, it creates the perfect environment for bacteria and fungus to thrive. What starts as mild irritation can easily turn into sores, infections, and unpleasant odors. And the truth is, these problems don't just stay on the surface, they can affect your confidence, your comfort, and your overall health. Here's the misunderstanding many people have. They assume that only the areas they can see or smell need attention. If the skin looks clean, they think it must be fine. But that's not how it works, especially for seniors. These folds can look normal on the outside while silently harboring bacteria, fungus, and sweat buildup. By the time irritation becomes visible, the problem may already be advanced. Ignoring these hidden spaces is one of the most common hygiene mistakes older adults make. So, what can you do to protect yourself? The key is gentle, consistent care. Clean these areas every single day with warm water and mild soap. Don't scrub harshly, remember, the skin is delicate and needs a soft touch. After washing, take extra time to dry them well, because leftover moisture is what encourages irritation and fungal growth. For added protection, you can lightly dust the area with a gentle, non-irritating powder, or wear breathable fabrics that allow air to circulate and keep the skin cool. Simple adjustments like loose-fitting cotton clothing can make a world of difference. Paying attention to these hidden areas isn't just about preventing infection, it's about maintaining comfort and dignity. When your skin feels fresh and irritation-free, you move more freely, rest more easily, and carry yourself with greater confidence. But there's one last body part that many seniors rarely think about, and yet, neglecting it can affect your overall health in surprising ways. It doesn't just impact your comfort, it can also change how well you hear, how steady you feel, and even how connected you are to the world around you. Let's talk about your ears. I want you to picture this. A senior woman began noticing that conversations were getting harder to follow. She assumed it was just her age, that her hearing was naturally fading, and she accepted it as something she couldn't change. But when she finally went for a checkup, the doctor discovered it wasn't hearing loss at all. It was a buildup of earwax. Something so small, so ordinary, had been blocking her hearing and affecting her daily life. The moment it was removed, her hearing returned, and her world suddenly felt alive again. This happens more often than people realize. As we get older, earwax changes in texture. It becomes harder, drier, and more likely to accumulate. And when it does, it doesn't just reduce your ability to hear clearly, it can also cause ringing in the ears, dizziness, discomfort, and even infections. For seniors, these effects can be dangerous. Hearing loss, even when temporary, makes communication harder. It can lead to social withdrawal, frustration, and a greater risk of falls because balance is closely linked to the inner ear. Something as simple as ear hygiene can quietly impact your health, your independence, and even your connection with loved ones. But here's where many people make a big mistake. They reach for cotton swabs or other objects, thinking they're cleaning their ears, when in reality, they're pushing the wax deeper inside. That not only makes the problem worse, it can actually damage the sensitive ear canal or even puncture the eardrum. The truth is, cleaning your ears the wrong way is often more harmful than not cleaning them at all. So, what should you do instead? The answer is gentle care. You don't need to go deep inside your ear. All you need is to wipe the outer part of your ear with a warm, damp cloth. Keep the outside clean, and let your ear naturally push out what it doesn't need. If you notice a buildup or if your hearing starts to feel blocked, don't try to fix it on your own, go to a professional. Doctors and specialists have safe methods to remove earwax without damaging your hearing. That simple step can improve not only how well you hear, but also how steady you feel when walking or moving around. Taking care of your ears is more than just a matter of hygiene, it's about staying connected, staying safe, and staying engaged with the world around you. Because when you can hear clearly and maintain your balance, you can keep enjoying conversations, music, and the everyday sounds of life that bring comfort and joy. Now that we've covered these 4 key areas, the mouth, the feet, the skin folds, and the ears, let's take a moment to talk about why all of this truly matters. For families, there's nothing harder than watching a loved one struggle with issues that could have been prevented. It's heartbreaking to see a parent or grandparent lose their appetite because of gum pain, or avoid walking because of sore feet, or become embarrassed by rashes hidden beneath their skin, or slowly drift out of conversations because their hearing is blocked. These things may seem small at first, but when left unaddressed, they can steal away joy, comfort, and independence. But here's the truth, these challenges are not inevitable. They are not a guaranteed part of aging. With just a few minutes of daily care, these problems can often be prevented or managed before they ever become serious. Something as simple as brushing carefully, washing feet, drying skin folds, or wiping the ears can make the difference between struggling silently and living comfortably. It's not about doing something complicated, it's about being consistent with the small things that matter. And this isn't just about hygiene. It's about dignity. It's about being able to eat your favorite foods without pain. It's about walking confidently without fear of infection. It's about moving freely without irritation or sores holding you back. It's about hearing your loved ones clearly and staying connected to the people and moments that make life meaningful. So tonight, I want you to take a simple step. Choose just one of these areas, your mouth, your feet, your skin folds, or your ears, and give it the care it deserves. If you're caring for an elderly loved one, gently check one of these spots for them. Because small habits today prevent big problems tomorrow. What feels like a 2-minute task could be protecting years of health, comfort, and independence. And remember this, aging does not mean losing your dignity. It does not mean giving up your comfort. It does not mean becoming helpless. With awareness, with love, and with consistent care, seniors can continue enjoying life, carrying themselves with confidence, and holding on to the independence they value so deeply. You have more control over your health and comfort than you may realize. And every small step you take today is an investment in the quality of your tomorrow. Let's take a moment to bring it all together. Remember, the 4 areas you must clean daily after 70 are simple, but powerful: your mouth, to protect your teeth, gums, and heart health. Your feet, to prevent infections and keep you moving strong. Your skin folds, to avoid painful rashes and hidden infections. And your ears, to keep your hearing sharp and your balance steady. These are the 4 silent guardians of your health in older age. And yet, they're the ones most often forgotten. But now, you know better. Now, you have the tools to protect yourself or someone you love, starting today. I'd love to hear from you. Out of these 4, which do you think is most often overlooked? Is it the feet that hide in socks and shoes, the ears we assume don't need care, or the skin folds many people never think about? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your story could help someone else realize what they've been missing. And if this video gave you a new perspective, just take a moment to subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Tips. Here, we're building a supportive community of seniors, caregivers, and families who believe aging doesn't mean losing comfort or dignity, it means finding smarter ways to stay healthy and independent. Thank you so much for watching, and for choosing to invest in your health today. Stay strong, stay informed, and remember this: small habits, repeated daily, are what build a healthier, happier, and more confident tomorrow. I'll see you in the next video.